Click thumbs up, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and pick up a copy of my book, Dog Training Revolution. PetFlow is sponsoring today's video. When you set up automatic pet food delivery at PetFlow, you're helping us to fund our production, and you're also making your life a lot easier as well. That's because PetFlow will automatically ship your dog food straight to your front door. All you do is choose your favorite brand of food and tell them how often you want it delivered. Maybe you want it delivered every 2 weeks, for example. It'll just be there, so there's nothing more annoying than having to run out and get food at the last second when you realize that you're out. Enter code ZACH30 when you check out and you'll get $10 off your first 3 auto ship orders. I'll have that link below. Recently, YouTube subscriber Jeremy brought Callie, the 4-month-old Aussie, to hang out for a little while. And like many of you, Jeremy is new to teaching dogs. These guys are off to a great start, and Jeremy had some great questions.
That's the first time she's ever done that. I couldn't get her to do that.
How's her training been going?
I mean, we definitely have our things we're really trying to work on, like walks, and she tries to pick up everything. She tries to greet every dog, every person. She wants to greet everybody like that.
Yep.
I have lots of questions written down on my phone.
Excellent. And I'm also going to give you a copy of my book.
I bought your book already.
Oh, you did?
I've watched a good amount of your videos, and one of the things you talk about on your leash walking is doing the look at me.
Yeah.
And again, that's hard with her outside.
You're taking a step that's too big, it sounds like. So you're taking it from inside to on the walk.
Yeah.
There's steps in between that, outside the front door, for example.
Yeah.
Practicing look at me. I mean, it gets meticulous there those first few months of training. Or at the front door when she's excited before. You need to find the point where look at me breaks down. Where does it go from reliable to unreliable? Because there is that point in space, whether it's right outside the threshold or right inside the threshold, and you have to get it fine there. Now the good news is once you start to get traction, you don't have to stay and take those tiny steps forever. But in the beginning, the steps are tiny. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you will spend at least 2 days a week or more if you can, for 3-hour periods at the park outside,
Yeah.
just to let her exist in those environments are then going to become normal to her.
Yeah.
But when she's spending, say, I don't know, 60, 70% of her time in your house, which
Yeah.
I guess is probably accurate maybe?
Yeah.
And the park is like, I only see that every once in a while.
Yeah.
Even if it's for 20 minutes a day. So spending hours at a time outside is what you need to do. Good work. Her look at me. You see, I keep doing look at me. I'm trying to burn that into her brain. Are you prioritizing look at me?
She can't do it on walks.
Oh, okay.
She'll do it
Sure.
inside the house.
Good. That makes sense.
And also getting her to take a treat on walks can be difficult, even chicken or cheese.
Yep. That makes sense too. The reason for that is the environment is so overstimulating. So you have to go through this period of just being tolerant and letting them explore the world and not listen to you on walks and just take it in, because there's no substitute for just experiencing the world. And that's why I say it takes a year. I mean, in current dog training culture, you know, they've succeeded in making you think a dog can be trained in 3 weeks, but there's no way to fast forward time and experience. I wouldn't do serious leash training with her until you've gotten tons of the energy out through fetch training, because it's hard for her to absorb those concepts, A, when she's got the pent up energy, and B, when she's in an overstimulate or a very stimulating environment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you should work on it and you're doing the right thing, but there are more important priorities than teaching her to walk nicely on a leash right now.
So but when she pulls, what do I do?
It's a combination of trying to teach her the proper way to act and tolerating the leash pulling, because it's highly unnatural to teach a dog to walk nicely on leash. The
So-
reason being, they walk faster than we do.
Is that not developing like a bad habit, do you think? Or?
It is to a degree, but it's one of those pick your battles things. Like,
Yeah.
all right, we need to focus on that, but it's more important that I let her explore this environment and desensitize her to these smells and sights so that I have the hope of getting her attention in the future. So we tend to want to do everything right and keep no bad habits from developing, which is the right attitude, but it's a lot of give and take with dogs because you can't teach them everything simultaneously.
Yeah.
You can teach a lot. If you will get her tired before training walks, then you have a much better chance at getting her to come to you when she starts to pull ahead, and it won't be quite as challenging. But I would say the biggest thing you can do right now is go to the park in 3-hour chunks wherever possible and just let her play. For the first hour, she's gonna be like, whoa, what's all this? By hour 2, she's like, yeah, this is normal, I'll play tug with you. You know, I'll pay attention to you with a treat. I think people tend to get really overwhelmed with their dogs at this point in training because you're in the communication building phase. So you're trying to do 2 things at once. You're trying to train her and also build communication with her. And that takes months of training. So are you having issues with things like chewing and other things?
Lots of chewing.
Okay.
Chews on everything she can find. including in the house and on walks. I mostly try to redirect her calmly.
By redirecting, what you're saying is you basically try and get her attention off. In this case, it would be trying to get her attention off the leash over here. Can I see some chicken really quick? Right here. This is what redirecting is, right? Good. Good job. Now give me a sit. Very good. Nice work. The thing about redirecting, though, it's good when you do catch your dog in the act of doing something that you don't like, and it's really common with a puppy like this for them to seemingly constantly be doing something you don't like. However, you do want to make sure that you really prioritize setting up training lessons like a basic leave it. Management is step one. Keep the behavior from occurring. Then training is step two. So here I'm tempted to just, pull the leash out of her mouth. Instead, I'll get her attention on me. Get a look at me. Yes. Leave it. Up here. Oh, beautiful. Do you see that? We got to leave it and a look at me. There was a piece of chicken right in front of her, and she looked right up at me when I asked for it. That's a testament to your training. You've been doing a good job on that.
What are your feelings about like a pen area? And I know that's not a place to just like put her all the time.
Oh, important. You have to have a place to control their environment. Controlling the environment should be done primarily through the leash, but when you can't or when you're sleeping, that's what the crate's for. It's what the pen area is for. I even tie it like this. That's usually what I do with a puppy.
In the house?
Yeah, in the house. Because that way you're in a position to nip bad habits in the bud, and you're there to acknowledge good behaviors you like instantly.
Yeah.
Is that problematic for you? It is. It's hard. Most people don't do this, by the way, even when I recommend it, because it is a chore, but it's the right answer. Have you been working on fetch training at all?
I've tried. I can't find, to be honest, a fetch toy that she loves. She'll lose interest like within 5 minutes.
Totally normal. All of this is very normal. Don't take that to mean that she's not interested in the toy because she has short periods of interest. If she has short periods of interest, you can almost certainly get her to have long periods of interest over time. It takes a moment for a dog to get hooked or addicted to this type of play. It's really important that you prioritize fetch training because as time goes on, you're gonna wanna be able to get her energy out on your terms and your schedule, and nothing does it like fetch. Fetch resolves 90% of unwanted behaviors. Fetch starts with tug of war. Tug and let go. And since you said she tends to lose interest, I'm trying to really keep her interested in it right now. I'm gonna let her win and I'm gonna actually let her take it there and everything, just so she feels like she's got a victory. Now I'm gonna go back and take it. I'm not even gonna focus on let go right now. It's more important that she's interested in the toy. I love this. To teach your dog to let go, all you do, it's the easiest thing in the world to take, though it might take a minute with her. Make the toy boring. I'm just gonna put it in a vise here. Yes! The moment she lets go, I'm gonna reignite the game. I'm not gonna put it behind my back. I'm not gonna ask her to sit. I'm gonna let her know when you let go, the game resumes instantly at this point in training. You'll probably, moving forward, train more with play than you will with food. Making it boring. Yes, good. See that? She's used that tiny bit of restraint for just a brief moment. Once you perfect tug and let go, then you're ready to move on. And I know you're not asking about this, but I'm a step ahead of you. So
that's
this is
within
what you're
my
questions.
questions.
Yeah. So then the next step to teaching fetch is to do that. Throw it just a few inches away. Most people teach fetch by throwing the toy and hoping their dog figures out how to bring it back, and they call him, and that's a disaster.
Yeah.
You won't teach a good fetch that way. So essentially, fetch is something that evolves from tug of war. Let go. Get it. Good. Right here. Good. Let go. Yes, get it. Come on. Let's see if I can just get her to kind of move that toy an inch towards me. And if she does, I'm gonna play tug with it. Hey, come on. Yes, come on. Just light tug. Oh, she's great. Anytime you introduce a new toy, make it enticing. Make it interesting. Don't just give it to them and hope they figure it out. My goal here is to see if I get her to bite it. If she bites it, we're well. And it's an off-putting texture to a lot of dogs. Let me just see. I'm gonna roll it here. Oh, that was a really significant development just then. She grabbed it by the rim as it was rolling on the ground. She went for it again. And notice how I'm keeping it moving. I'm trying to keep it from getting boring. Once it's still, it's less interesting. So we want to keep it alive. Get it. Gonna let her win that time. Gonna do a gentle pull here just to keep it on her level.
She's really afraid of my umbrella.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I made the mistake of opening it too close to her a few
Yep.
weeks ago.
Counter conditioning exercises are protocol in this situation. Do I have an umbrella in here?
Yeah, we do. It's right.
Oh, we do. By counter conditioning, you're trying to change a perception to something.
Yeah,
Step 1, set it on the ground. Step 2 would be this,
yeah.
moving it around, right?
Yeah.
And then rewarding 5, 10 times for that. Good girl, very good. You know, and then I'm gonna let it make some noise. Good girl, very good. Let her roll some chicken. And then I'm gonna open it like this. See this? Do you see how slow I'm going?
Yeah.
This is what's not intuitive if you're new to training dogs, that you need to go this slow. Good girl. When reintroducing it. Good. Yes, good girl. See that? Now she's looking a little more apprehensive. Go ahead. On that. See how I'm going up and down here? Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. Yeah, I'm gonna let her explore. That's fine. Good. In other words, I'm not just opening it up and hoping she's gonna be okay with it. I'm taking tiny steps. Mm-hmm. And she's doing really well. Good.
Callie, come here.
Right here, even this is fine right here. Right now, she just wants to play with it.
Okay.
Yes!
Is there any utility in, you know, when I try to redirect her most of the times, but I will, maybe I should stop doing this. Sometimes I raise my voice and say no.
Yeah.
And sometimes I say just, hey, really loudly, and she stops, like digging at the couch or...
I mean, you know, we're human, and I don't think you're going to traumatize her by it. There's no need to raise your voice. If you ought to find that as long as if you say no monotone and you just go over there and redirect her, that's going to have the same effect over time. So it'll be more intelligent long run to just be like, no, stop that. What are you doing? You know.
Yeah.
I even like to see how low I can say it and lower the volume of my voice, because it has the same effect as long as you're providing the action afterwards of escorting her away from the thing she's chewing on and asking for the sit and then rewarding for the compliant behavior. It looks like you've been addressing the puppy biting slowly but surely.
Yeah, she's gotten better.
Yeah, then you're doing fine. Puppy biting takes weeks to go away. So the way it's not like sit where it happens all at once, you know, where you can teach a sit in a single training session. Puppy biting, because they need to bite. She's still got her baby teeth, she's teething. The idea is to slowly have that go away. And if you're seeing steady progress over the last few weeks, you're doing fine. Have you noticed that she starts licking more than where she used to bite?
Yeah, I have.
So that's a telltale sign of that you're in the right direction. It's impossible to make it go away at this point. The idea is to reduce it and manage it, not get rid of it completely at 4 months old. People who, like you, who really have this many questions and have been working so hard with their dog, just typically do really amazing with their dogs. You know, they turn out to be pretty spectacular, honestly. You're gonna hit a stride where it's like things start really coming together all at one time, you know? If you enjoyed today's video, or maybe you wanna see more like this, click thumbs up. Tell me in the comments below what you thought. Set up automatic pet food delivery at PetFlow. Enter code ZACH30 when you check out for $10 off your first 3 orders. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And if you've got a new dog especially, pick up a copy of my book, Dog Training Revolution. We'll see you guys next time.